Welcome back to my channel, and thank you in advance for helping my channel grow to everything God already sees it as. Let's recap the first episode. God means imagining law of thought, nothing less, nothing more. Everything happening and everything that will ever happen is all happening in God's awake conscious mind or God's sleeping subconscious mind, and yes, it all exists, all at one time. There is no separation. So the first chapter of Genesis, God had become conscious of the power of thought. Additionally, I'd like to point out once more, everything in the Bible is a metaphor, and every single character in it is a state of mind. Furthermore, to all of you who had the purple baby appear inside your mind, you indeed are the chosen Christ babies. Please try to use your imagination carefully, as the things we think about become crystallized ideas in our minds. And for those of us who have experienced all types of trauma, this is why too many of us have been creating everything except what we want. Yet, though, let us pray we become crystallized in pure unconditional love, even if it takes 400 years. Genesis 2:1 Thus the heavens and the earth, two states of mind, the ideal and the manifestation, were completed in all their vast array. 2:2 By the seventh day God, imagining law of thought, had finished the work they had been doing, so on the seventh day they rested from all their work. Then God, imagining law of thought, blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it they had rested from all the work of creating they had done. To some, God resting means they simply became human beings. Moreover, the creation of Adam and Eve seems to be a topic that is constantly debated, so today I will be breaking it down to the best of my spiritual abilities, as cap-free as possible. Genesis 2:4 This is the account of the heavens and the earth, two states of mind, the ideal and the manifestation, when they were created, when the imagining law of thought made the heavens and the earth. 2-5 Now no shrub had yet appeared on earth, manifestation, and no plant had yet sprung up, for the imagining law of thought had not manifested rain, and there was no one to work the ground. 2-6 But streams had manifested and watered the whole surface of the ground, the idea of substance in divine mind. 2-7 Then the imagining law of thought formed a man from the dust or divine feminine of the ground, the idea of substance in divine mind, and breathed life into his nostrils, the breath of life, and the man or God became a living being. Now most of us should know at this point we have both masculine and feminine in our mind/energy, whatever have you, and if you don't know, well, now you know. Genesis 2:8 Now the law of imagining had planted a garden, the spiritual body in which man dwells when he brings forth thoughts after the pattern of original divine ideas, in the east within, in Eden region of being, in which are provided all primal ideas for the production of the beautiful. Eden also has to do with life and intelligence. It was there they put the man they had formed. 2-9 The imagining law of thought made all kinds of trees represent nerves, grow out of the ground, the idea of substance in divine mind, trees, nerves that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden, the spiritual body in which man dwells when he brings forth thoughts after the pattern of original divine ideas, was the tree of life, indwelling idea of immortal life, and the tree of knowledge of good and the opposite of good, double-mindedness. Genesis 2:10 A river watering the garden, the spiritual body in which man dwells when he brings forth thoughts after the pattern of original divine ideas, flowed from Eden, elemental life and intelligence. From there it was separated into four headwaters, four sections of the mind. 2:11 The name of the first is Pishon. Vision signifies the intelligence of faith that is from love. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, virtual travail, where there is gold, good or truth. 2:12 The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx are also there. 2:13 The name of the second river is Gihon. Stream or valley of grace can also represent desire. It winds through the entire land of Cush, darkened thought in which man has held his body and its activities, the seemingly mortal, physical part of himself. 2:14 The name of the third river is Tigris, spiritual nerve fluid that God is propelling throughout man's whole being continually. It runs along the east side of Asher, reason or reasoning. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. In this instance, this means to make fruitful / it also represents the bloodstream. Genesis 2:15 The imagining law of thought took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden. Man's body temple is the outer expression of the Garden of Eden, to work and take care of it. 2:16 And the imagining law of thought commanded the man or itself, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and the opposite of good, meaning do not be double-minded, for when you eat from it you will certainly die. 2:17 The imagining law of thought it is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. Now I'm calling cap on this only because, well, it's cap. God is never alone, and with only one man alive, how on earth would they even know what alone meant? I digress though. Genesis 2:19 Now the imagining law of thought had formed out of the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. They brought them to the man to see what he would name them, and whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. 2:20 So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky and all the wild animals. But for Adam no suitable helper was found. 2:21 So the imagining law of thought caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. 2:22 The imagining law of thought made a woman from the rib family tree, which again represent both masculine and feminine energy, he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. If you notice, there is no mention of waking the man up. Genesis 2:23 The man said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh, she shall be called woman, for she birthed all human beings. 2:24 That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. 2:25 Adam and his wife were both naked and felt no shame. Now, Adam represents the state of being unaware, which is why there is never any mention of God waking him up, at least not as Adam. Eve represents one's own nature. Again, all characters in the Bible are states of being and states of mind. If these characters must be real-life humans, then much like you and me, they are just thoughts that live in God's imagination. There is nothing solid in a hologram, for everything is an illusion. Only thoughts or vibrations, which are both one and the same. Now I am not interested in arguing about whether the chicken or the egg came first. In all honesty, it's not that big of a deal to the pure source energy that we are. Since, what came first for everything was the idea/thought and then the manifestation. I pray we all give up the need to be right and simply feel better, and only Source knows what better is for you. I pray we all heal from disgracing our own selves. I pray we know without a shadow of a doubt you cannot traumatize true Source God, who is only ever streaming unconditional love to all of us all the time. So I pray we release the lowly energy of shame and allow that pure unconditional, healing, and uplifting love to flow through our divinely made vessels. And I pray that whatever it is you are going through, whenever you're going through it, you know you are never alone. All glory to the Most High God, and thank you so much for watching, and may all your dreams come true.